Hey guys, what is up and welcome to my channel. It's a Hardback Life. My name is Jordan, and today we're going to be doing my author dedication video, episode 2. The first episode was about Stephen King, and I was saying how I was going to include his books within my TBR for the month of October. If you don't know what author dedication is, it is essentially a taste test that I'm going to be doing every other month where I pick a book or books from an author that I've never read from before. And I read those books within my TBR and I decide whether I am going to continue reading books by that author or not. And so far, the first one was a success. I only read a portion of a Stephen King book because I forgot how big his books are. His books are literally between 500 to 600 pages on average. So, yeah. But you know what? I got through a portion of the book I was reading. I started Pet Sematary in October. I am now 130 pages into the book. If you can see my bookmark. But I can say I definitely will continue reading books by Stephen King. And this is a huge step for me because I used to be so dead against reading his books because I was a chicken. I'm still a chicken, but you know what? His storytelling is very good, so I'm definitely gonna continue reading more of his books. So, yeah. Before we begin this official video, I just want to share a couple things. Like, first of all, two of the artists that I've been listening to, one of them is Taylor Swift. This is her 9th studio album. She just dropped it a week ago called Evermore, which is the sequel to Folklore, which came out back in July. And oh my gosh, I am a huge Taylor Swift fan. I haven't always been a Taylor Swift fan, but like the last like several years, her music, like I've looked at her music in a different way. Like her lyricism is just ridiculous. So that's one of the main reasons I'm a fan of hers, because she can write, man. And I've actually seen her in concert. She puts on a good show. But yeah, this is Evermore, which is the sequel album to Folklore. And this, she basically kind of went back to her country roots a little bit, but this is more of a folky type album, like her previous one, Folklore. Ah, so good. I definitely, if you don't like Taylor Swift, like check out her last two albums, Folklore and Evermore, at least, because it's a different side of her. And Shawn Mendes, Home Wonder. I've been listening to this like crazy. It's really good. And this, he has grown a lot musically. So I really have appreciated listening to him a lot more in the last few years. Alright, and another thing I want to share with you, by the way, I am part of a Discord called the Shelf Space Discord. You go over there and check it out. It's so much fun. We talk about a lot of things. We talk about books, of course. We talk about other things. And it's just a fun and good time. And Jessie May created a Shelf Space book club where we read a book, or we choose a sci-fi, fantasy, or fantasy book of the month, and we read it. And then she has a live show with another booktuber, and you can still connect within the live show with Jessie and the booktuber that is doing the co-hosting with her. It's so much fun, you guys. I unfortunately have not been able to participate in a live show yet because just scheduling wise, I can never do them because I work during those times usually when they happen. But right now they're reading Promise of Blood, and I can tell you I definitely will not be reading that one because I just haven't had the time. And also, I'm still reading the previous month's book, which was Sword of Kaigen by Emma Wong. And yeah, so, but you should definitely go check it out. I'm also on a team where we're doing a readathon, which is based off of our teams are named after Christmas characters, and we basically 100 pages, or for every 100 pages we read, we get 10 points, and then we get an extra 5 points, I think, for finishing the prompt. And this readathon, I'm reading 12 books. So yeah, I am swamped with that. But it's a good thing. My team was in first place, but now we are back in second because of stinking Clark Griswold. Oh my gosh, that team is like our biggest competition. They pulled ahead of us once again. It's been back and forth. Week 1, they were ahead. Week 2, we took the lead by like just barely a small margin. And then like all of a sudden, this last week, like results, they just pulled majorly ahead of us. So we got some work to do. Hashtag Team Jack Skellington will rise again. Anyway, you guys, for those, I am reading Akamath, which I'm reading for one of the prompts, and this is 625 pages. So, booyah to other teams. This book is over 600 pages, so big book. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming for you, Clark Griswold. And I'm reading Midnight Sun, which is 672 pages. Another big chunker, which I'm using for the prompt Under the Mistletoe. So, woo! Yes, another big chunker. Anyway, you guys, that's not the reason we are here. So, let's get to it. The author dedication video. Here we go. So, well, for the next month, I'm dubbing, wait for it, Schwabuary. So yeah, if you didn't know, that's a hint of what author I'm going to be reading for the next month. And that is none other than Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab as she goes by now. She has become one of the best well-known authors in fantasy in the last like few years. Like, her books have gained a lot of attention. And I have decided to finally read her books. I've been collecting her books throughout the whole year. And so I'm going to try and read all 8 of these within the next month. Probably won't happen. But the first 2 books that I have here are a duology, and that is the Monsters of Verity duology. This book centers around the lives of 2 characters, Kate and August Flynn. Kate is a human, and August is a monster. And they both are pushed into a war because the monsters and the humans are at war with each other. Kate's father created the monsters, and they have decided to rebel, I guess. And one thing that's really unique about this duology is music is used as a weapon. And one of our main characters, August Flynn, who is a monster, he can steal people's souls, I think, through song. And he uses this really cool violin, which helps him with his power. So I'm here for it. I can't wait to read these. And this is another duology which a lot of people think should be a standalone, and that is Vicious. Vicious and Vengeful are so it's the Vicious duology, but this is about 2 guys who basically figure out that to gain powers you have to have near-death experiences. And in this book series, there is a lot of betrayal and just a lot of crazy stuff that happens. So I'm really excited to read this um, and see what all the fuss is about. I heard it's going to be a trilogy in the future, possibly. So we'll see. But this is Vicious Duology by Victoria Schwab. Book series I'm really excited for because this one is set in 4 different realities of the same world. This is our main character Kel is like some sort of a magical being. I can't remember if it's like a wizard or a magician or something like that. And he basically goes through all there's 4 different Londons in this world. There's Black London, which has completely been destroyed. Nobody talks about it. There is White London, which has magic, but is very politically driven. There's Red London, which our main character is from, and that is thriving with magic, and it's all good and dandy. And then there's Grey London, which is basically like our world, where there is no magic. And our main character comes upon another character and who tries to, I guess, steal from him, and they both end up having to come up against a major enemy. I've heard there's pirates involved in this story, and I've never really read many books about where pirates are involved, so I'm super excited for this. Anyway, like I said, it's a trilogy. There's A Darker Shade of Magic, which is book 1. A Gathering of Shadows, which is book 2. And then the final book in the trilogy, A Conjuring of Light. The last book I'm going to be talking about, you guys, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is about a girl named Addie LaRue who was born in the 1600s, I guess, and she was taught to be women have to be very submissive to their husbands and just be a good doting wife and young woman. She doesn't want to live a life like that. She wants to explore the world. So she ends up making a deal with the devil in a sense, and she wishes for immortality, and attached to her wish, she gets her wish all right, but everyone she comes in contact with will forget her once they have met her. Like, if they ever meet her again, they won't remember who she is. Except, fast forward hundreds of years in the future, she meets a guy who, after their first meeting, he comes upon her again, and he remembers who she is. So that changes things, and I heard this is also a love story as well, which V.E. Schwab, I guess, is not really big on those, so at least that's what I heard. So this is new for her, and obviously that's growth. And yeah, I cannot wait to get into reading these books next month. So anyway, I'm dubbing January Schwabuary because, well, obviously I'm going to be reading these books in January, which happens to also be my birthday month, if I didn't mention that before. So yeah, you guys, super excited. Really excited. Anyway, you guys, please like and subscribe this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. That'd mean a lot to me. And also click to ring the bell to see when I put out new content. I shall catch you guys later. Anyway, bye.